The first time I saw the woman sitting in my office chair, I honestly thought there had been a mistake. My name is Emily Carter, and for 8 years I had worked at a marketing firm in Chicago. I wasn't the loudest employee or the one constantly trying to impress everyone. I was simply dependable. I worked late when deadlines demanded it, trained every new hire, and even canceled vacations more than once to help save important client accounts. I believed loyalty mattered. I was wrong. That Monday morning, my boss, Richard Lawson, called everyone into the conference room. "I've got exciting news," he announced with a grin. "Effective immediately, our new senior project director is Vanessa Brooks." The room erupted in polite applause. My hands froze. Vanessa had been with the company for less than 6 months. Then she stood up beside Richard, smiling confidently. My heart nearly stopped. She was the same woman I'd seen in photos on my husband's hidden Instagram account. The woman he'd insisted was just a coworker. She wasn't. She was his mistress. Richard continued speaking about Vanessa's exceptional leadership while I could barely hear another word. 8 years, 8 birthdays spent at work, countless weekends sacrificed, and my promotion had just been handed to the woman helping destroy my marriage. Vanessa walked toward me after the meeting. "I know this must be disappointing," she said softly. I looked directly into her eyes. Then I smiled. "Congratulations," I replied. The entire office stared. No yelling, no tears, no scene. I simply picked up my notebook and returned to my desk. Inside, though, something had changed forever. That evening, I arrived home before my husband, Daniel. I cooked dinner, set the table, even asked him about his day. He looked relieved. Maybe he expected me to know. Maybe he thought I'd never find out. Either way, I wasn't going to confront him. Not yet. Instead, I quietly started paying attention. Over the next 2 weeks, I copied every email proving I'd managed our company's biggest accounts. I downloaded performance reports showing I'd generated millions in client revenue over the years. Then, something unexpected happened. One of our oldest clients called me directly. "I heard congratulations are in order," Mr. Harrison said. "For what?" "Your promotion." I smiled sadly. I wasn't promoted. There was a long silence. "What?" "They chose someone else." He sounded genuinely shocked. "I've worked with you for 8 years. You're the reason we stay with your company." That conversation changed everything. Over the next few days, 3 more clients reached out. Every single one assumed I'd been promoted. When they learned the truth, none of them were happy. Richard tried to reassure them. Vanessa tried to charm them. Neither worked. Within a month, our largest client requested that I personally remain on their account. Richard refused. The client responded by terminating their contract. The company lost nearly $3 million. Suddenly, the office felt different. Richard stopped smiling. Vanessa stopped acting confident, and my phone wouldn't stop ringing. Recruiters from competing firms had noticed what was happening. Apparently, clients talk. One company in particular made an offer that sounded almost unreal. Double my salary, remote flexibility, executive leadership, profit sharing. I accepted immediately. The day I submitted my resignation, Richard called me into his office. "You can't leave now." I almost laughed. I thought Vanessa could handle everything. His expression tightened. "Emily, we made a mistake." "No," I corrected him calmly. "You made a choice." For the first time in 8 years, I walked out of his office without asking if there was anything else he needed. 2 weeks later, I started my new position. The difference was unbelievable. People respected my experience. My opinions mattered. No one treated loyalty like it was something to exploit. Meanwhile, Daniel became increasingly distant. Late nights, secret phone calls, excuses that didn't make sense. I already knew why. One Saturday morning, while he was in the shower, his phone lit up. "Vanessa," the message preview read, "Richard is panicking again." I didn't read another word. I didn't need to. Instead, I called a divorce attorney. By Monday afternoon, the paperwork had already begun. Daniel didn't even realize it until he came home to find neatly organized folders sitting on the dining room table. "What's this?" "Our divorce." His face turned white. "What?" "I know about Vanessa." He actually tried denying it, then apologizing, then blaming stress, then blaming work. Finally, he cried, "I made a mistake." I nodded. "I know." "Can we fix this?" I smiled politely. "No." A week later, he moved into an apartment. Vanessa, meanwhile, wasn't having the glamorous life she'd imagined. Without experienced staff around her, projects started failing. Deadlines were missed. Clients complained constantly. Richard expected her to perform miracles. Instead, she exposed how little she actually knew. 3 months later, rumors spread through the industry. Vanessa had been demoted. Richard was under investigation by the company's board after multiple complaints about favoritism and unethical hiring practices. One afternoon, an old coworker called me. "You'll never believe this." "What happened?" "Richard was fired." Apparently, the board discovered emails showing he'd bypassed internal promotion policies to give Vanessa my position without following company procedures. Human Resources had warned him. He ignored them. The investigation cost him everything. As for Vanessa, she resigned before she could be terminated. Daniel didn't fare much better. Without my income, the mortgage became impossible. He had assumed Vanessa would move in with him. She didn't. Instead, she ended their relationship almost immediately after leaving the company. He called me 6 months after our divorce. I just wanted to apologize. I listened quietly. I lost everything. There was genuine regret in his voice. For a brief moment, I remembered the man I'd married. Then I remembered the lies, the secrets, the nights I worked overtime while he was spending time with someone else. I hope you find peace, Daniel. Emily, I already have. I hung up before he could say another word. A year later, I stood in the lobby of my new company's headquarters, looking out over downtown Chicago from the 32nd floor. I had a team that respected me, clients who valued my work, friends who celebrated my success. Most importantly, I had learned something no promotion could ever teach me. Loyalty should never require sacrificing your self-respect. The day Richard gave my job to my husband's mistress, I thought my life had fallen apart. In reality, it had finally started coming together. Sometimes karma doesn't arrive with shouting or revenge. Sometimes it begins with a quiet smile and the courage to walk away while everyone else is busy celebrating the very mistake that will eventually destroy them.